Yo, what's getting good, guys? We're about to get medieval with a summary of disability income insurance, all right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover 8 quick points. What are these points? The fact that disability income insurance comes in either a personal version for the entrepreneur like you and me who don't work for somebody. We got to get our own policies. And then you have the other 90% of the population who's covered under an employer group, which means that the employer is covering all their employees, which also has a couple of other benefits for the business that we're not going to get into just yet. Number 2, we're going to talk about economic death. Yo, Jay, why so dramatic, bro? Because economic death is real. You think dying is unfortunate? Dying is cheap in comparison to the economic death I'm about to drop on you, all right? Number 3, we're going to define what a disability is, because although you go into the Kaplan and you and I think we know what a disability is, you have to go searching to find out that in the business of insurance, the definition of a disability is a total disability. And then what even blows your mind even more is that the definition of a total disability varies from policy to policy. But you do know what? They did agree on 4 things. That if you go blind, if you go, if you lose 2 limbs, like an arm and a leg, and I'm sitting there and I'm just lefty, that counts. What's the last one? Deaf. I can't hear you complaining about the guy in the Vert the Ferg shirt. Yes, those are your presumptives. So no matter what policy you're under, as long as one of those 4 things happen, you're completely covered. But what if I only lose one hand, and that's a partial disability, and it does exist, but you got to pay for it, bro. You don't walk into McDonald's and they don't just throw in the fries, they throw a discount on it, right? That discount, the fries are a rider. They're riding along with your hamburger. Well, partial disability can be offered to your policy as a rider, meaning you can add it on for more money. Some policies actually include it in the policy, but it will require you to be completely disabled before those partial disability policy benefits kick in. Why? Because if you have a really crappy job and you are on total disability, nobody wants to go back to the really crappy job, right? But if your benefits are depreciating and going down a little bit, and all of a sudden, you know, you can't snack like you used to while watching midday TV, you're going to take your ass back to work, right? That's what this is designed for. So the total disability kind of diminishes into a partial disability, but remember, you can have it, but you're probably going to pay for it. One of the other things, don't have corona. One of the other things is there's people have crazy jobs, right? Underwater welders. What do you mean to tell me you got a freaking torch attached to your back while you're breathing oxygen underwater? That's a dangerous job. Nobody wants to insure that, right? But you can get a policy that'll cover you when you're not at work. That would be a non-occupational policy, right? Well, what's an occupational policy, Jay? Well, yo, that's the one that covers you when you're at work. Like me, I'm in my dojo right now. This is not dangerous, okay? So I can go ahead and get insurance. And I can also leave. And when I leave, I'm going to go do some silly things. I live on the lake. Dude, I'm trying to get some air. I'm like, right? I'm out there trying to get hurt. I'm at the gym every day. But they'll cover me. Last but not least, let's talk about mean people suck. Yes, I said it. Mean people suck. But what I mean, though, is the companies that go ahead and issue these disability income policies that care about how you got hurt, that's kind of rude, right? And what I mean by that is that you have 2 different policies. You have accidental means versus accidental results. What accidental means meant is that, like this morning, I went to the gym, right? I'm not trying to say I was doing all hardcore. Dude, I walked around, I lifted like 3 things, I got some water, and I was like, yeah, I feel good. I feel swole, right? But if I would have went and I got on that Stairmaster and I'm just kind of running, and all of a sudden, boom, I bust. I don't care how it happens. Something weird happened and I fall and I'm all twisted up in the machine and the 7 o'clock news is there while they get the jaws of life to get me out. The fact of the matter is, if I had a mean policy, an accidental mean policy, I don't get paid for nothing because I chose to go to the gym. I chose to get on that stair. And so regardless if it was an accident, since I chose to participate, I wouldn't be covered. That's a mean policy. But don't worry, because Florida hates mean people, and we don't allow them to sell mean policies in the state of Florida. The only reason I'm talking about the mean policy is because once you're licensed, you have the ability to go outside of the state of Florida, get authorization to sell a policy in a state who maybe doesn't care about you as much as we care about you, and they're allowed to sell mean policies. You can go sell that in that state. Yo, just don't bring that crap here, okay? The policies we sell here are accidental results policy, which means that I could be running on the elliptical with a beer in one hand, trying to text in the other hand, and fall and bust my ass. And the fact of the matter is, just because I'm stupid, it didn't mean that I went there to try to make that happen. That would be completely covered because it's a results policy. No matter what happens, the result was you got hurt. My bad. That sucks that you got hurt. We know you didn't mean to do it, so you're covered. So now, guys, I just want to let you know that I just completely blew through about an hour and 15 to an hour and 20 minutes worth of class, broken down on 4 pages that looks something like 5,000 words and 8 bullet points. And how much time we got on the clock?
We got 6 minutes and 30 seconds.
And that's after it took them 10 seconds to get me that information, right? Boom, I'm out. Disability income insurance. Ooh, ooh. When we get back, we're going to talk about how disability income insurance works with businesses. Why? Because all I did in that 6 or so minutes, 7 minutes that we're at now is talk about the individual policy. But remember what I told you? Maybe I didn't tell you. I don't remember. I talked real quick. Only 10% of us are covered by individual policies. Everybody else is on that work policy, all right? So when we go ahead, we're going to transition. I'm going to let you catch up because you're like sitting there smoking through pages because I just smoked through pages, right? Business applications for disability income when we return after these messages.